Yo. Back again with the white fans. No, seriously, back again for what might be a short streaming session where I continue updating my web app to or from an anemic domain model and a monolithic architecture to CQRS and hexagonal architecture. So last time what we did was we started moving, we copy pasted the entire current FET backend into a new module called FET CQRS backend. And then the idea was that every time I wanted to refer to something that we did before on stream, it would be easy to just go into this module and then check out what was going on there. You might have noticed a little difference in setup. I'm at work today, and the weekends, I know, but I forgot to bring my webcam. Usually my webcam is right up in front of me, sitting on top of the monitor. But today I forgot to bring it when I drove over here. And instead I'm using the built-in camera from the MacBook itself. So hopefully it'll turn out good, or good enough at least. Right, that's about it. I think we left off last time by splitting up all of our work into all the different packages. We already had some commands apparently, like creating challenges and competitions. And we also had some queries, well actually a single query, the find challenge thing that we built the other day. And then we were about to implement this thing here so we could do that. I think this thing is already being used in the controller, that's right. I remember writing a test for this. Right, so what we did here was we replaced the challenge repository. It had a find challenge method on it, and we replaced the challenge repository thing with just a query executor that was to execute find challenge, and then we would return, or it would return this thing here. That's where we were at right now. Trying to implement this query executor. So I had a test going for that. Right. So hopefully eventually it will find an actual query executor as based on this configuration here. So I make from my query executor test class, I make it a configuration that Spring is able to find. Then I also added component scanning, so just to try and discover this query executor. And then hopefully, because I registered a find all snarfs query handler bean, this query executor will be able to find it and then eventually use it when it executes this get rid of snarfs. Well, actually not this one, because here we've got when no handler found, throw any exception. So that's where we are right now. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to use a standing desk today. I've been using it a little bit already. Let me just spam the project right now. Right, so it might get a little bit too tiring. I've been standing here for quite a while now. Had to wait with streaming until my my iPhone was upgraded to a newer version, because apparently I'm unable to find or to get messages or get pings whenever someone messages me. Speaking of which, I forgot to turn that thing off. are on actually. So now no one can disturb me while I stream. Where are we at? Okay, right, so for this test, we've got a data class called snarf, 2 queries, and then just a single query handler that we're gonna use to try and execute this find all snarfs thing. Eventually what should happen, so here we've got when no handler is found, so we're gonna do get rid of snarfs, and we did not register a query handler for that. So what I think I'll need to do still is register this. I guess we need to provide this as a service or a component maybe, so that it can be picked up by this configuration. Then hopefully this query executor will find the handler from being when it's registered automatically through Spring, and then it should execute, and whenever this find all snarfs query is passed to the executor. So right now I'm trying to set up this thing so whenever this gets executed, it should fail and throw an exception saying, hey, I can't find any query handler for the get rid of snarfs query. So I was typing something like should throw exception, but I forgot what the actual method name is called again. So it's something like exception is thrown, or expect thrown, or maybe, wait, wasn't it like assert thrown by? Assert thrown. Okay, maybe this is it. No. By. Yeah, here we go. Assert that thrown by, but there's another one that says something like exception is thrown. Ah, here we go. Assert that exception of type. Here we go. Let's add that as an import. Of type, what are we gonna call this? No query handler found. Exception or something. We'll need to add this. This class somewhere. Let's put it in the production part, and in that packaging seems fine for me. Okay. Right, so we'll need a Java thing for this then. Next. Oh. We'll need to say that indeed it's a runtime exception. And then just say, yeah, we don't know yet actually. Can you believe it's been such a long time? Yeah. So we'll call this one, it's the one with the message. So let's do, let's pass in a query, which is a query, which is just going to call super using, if that even works. Maybe it's init or something. I really forget. Let's look at some other exceptions. We've got the main runtime. Ah, yeah. You have to say that it's this thing that I want to extend. So what I wanted to do want... It's just the one with the message. So what we'll say is could not find query handler for query, and then just go like this, and then this can become something like that. Does that work? Oh. Yeah, I don't care. Redundant, okay. There we go. And we've built a no query handler exception that we can expect on now. And noise. And then what do I want to do? Do is actually this thing. Oh, is thrown by. That's it. Cool. So IntelliJ is complaining that there's no auto wiring, or that auto wiring the query executor is not gonna work. Okay, to type. Oh, right. List query handlers, of which I don't really care. So let's do any and then query of any. Oh, right, and I don't need this anymore actually. Oh wait, no, that's a lie. I'll need to implement this at a later stage. Well, in this case, I want a query handler that is going to return a T and is able to deal with a query of T. And now let's use the same type declaration here. And then this should also be a question mark there. There we go. And then we can just say return null for now. There's already something in place. So now at least it's compiling. But I'm still curious if this query executor thing will be filled in or not. Yeah, no such speed. Okay. Then I guess what shall I do? Because this seems so weird. Maybe I can just get rid of component scan like this. And then try and rerun. Because supposedly it's the same package, but I'm not sure if the test thing will be found. I guess it did not. So by the way, the reason I want this query executor to be wired is so that I can test that when well, basically that Spring handler registration also works. I'm not sure if I want that right now actually. Hmm. I do want to wire this one though. Eventually, I mean, so. I also remember, oh wait, this one isn't added yet, so let's try and do that first. There we go. There was another test, something like this, where we say, maybe I need to do this though. Base packages. So let's put this thing back, add some base packages, and then say include filters.
How's it going, man?
Nope. Oh wait, it's trying to create executor test, so. But is that like the message you get whenever? Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the program. I'm sorry. I thought the show was over. It started? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, let's do this again then. Let's extract it into a separate file. Just call it messaging test config or something. Let's do full name like we did with the MVC thing. And then let's also just add messaging. Right here. But I don't want to mock bean this one. I want a real one. And then this web MVC test config was used here, so we could go like this. Let's try and add that here. And then instead of a web config, let's do message test configuration in the hopes that this works actually. Just expect this to work like this. Because the query executor is in, maybe this is why. Yeah, okay. There we go. It probably worked before as well. So let's try and do this again. Get rid of this class. Delete anyway. Let's put that here again. There we go. I don't think I need this either. Hey, hey Codebase Alpha, thanks for the follow. And hi from Belgium. Let's see. So now that we do have our query executor, this part is complaining. Why is that? Could not auto wire. No beans of query handlers types are found. So I think during production code that is correct, but during test execution this one should be found. So hopefully when I run this, it will actually just work. It might just work because I'm straight up returning null. Still query executor. Nope, still an issue with the query executor. So even though IntelliJ says it's a fine, test execution still fails. Boop. Maybe I need to put back the base packages. We can do this. Let's put our package thing in there again. There we go. And then rerun it. It needs to be an array. Let's rerun. Okay, what's going on this time? No such bean, query executor, still the same thing. Dang it. Okay. Maybe it was because it's still because of this though. Let's just try and use the query that we have already for, what was it again, the find challenges thing? This one. This should return a challenge. So yeah, let's rewrite our test using this one, and then we'll need a handler for this as well. So let's add a find challenge handler. Make it that was an honest typo. So this is a query handler for what? Well, for a challenge, and it's supposed to be able to deal with the find challenge query. So let's do, I don't know, return some challenge, I guess. Let's do return null instead. So now we'll need to modify this one as well. Here we go. Maybe now my query executor. Well, wait, it wasn't this one, right? It was the. We might have two. We do have two query executors. Okay, this is why. So what we'll do is get rid of this one by it's not that easy apparently. What are we going to do with this? Because the signatures are different. Let me try doing something cheeky, so at least, yeah, no, let's just get rid of it. Voila. So now stuff breaks because this one is no longer the same query executor from before. It should be this one. Then it'll break. Why is that? Because this can go. Why is this? Oh, so execute is supposed to return R. There we go. There we go. Something is breaking over here. There we go. And then there was something else that fails. Oh yeah, in the challenge controller test, this is no longer the same query executor. There we go. Right, that's it. Or was there something else that's breaking? Yes, apparently there is. Huh. All right. Some more stuff breaking. Oh, dang it. Let's hope it just compiles, man. Yay. Now what about our query executor test? Can you be run this time? All right, we've got the same issue. So let's not do this stuff. Oh, actually, so I was kind of expecting this query executor to work because my query executor no longer should fail, because there should be yeah, that's correct. There aren't any beans that extend object and object. So I noticed that the place that I found this from, maybe it was a map though, so maybe it should be a map instead. Nope, it's really just a list. Let's try doing this instead. But yeah, that's basically any. And let's make this into any as well. And then it's failing because well, why actually? Because we know that it's specifically a query with any. I wonder how you do that in Kotlin. In Java, this basically just works because Spring will be able to find any query handler like this one. Oh, hang on. Yeah, no, so I thought that was gonna fix it, but no, it does not. No, oh my god. What if we just add this new query handler? Oh, maybe, yeah, why not an empty one? If the test still fails, then at least we know that it's not because of this thing. Then it really cannot find any query executor, okay. I wonder why that is. It's so weird. Maybe it's because of the include filters though. Let's try this again. No such bean query executor, same thing. Okay. Let's try this again. Maybe we can just add classes here then, I guess. Executor. Okay. Aha. Okay. So what if we'd just go like this now? And we run it. Maybe it'll work. Okay, it's actually working. Finally. Oh yeah. So even though we create an empty list here, it's it might even work at some point. And why is that again? I hope it's correct, right? Because get rid of snarfs does not have a handler yet. So instead of doing this one, we'll throw no query handler exception with query. Required any. Yeah. What is the problem? Oh yeah. Okay then. It is a specific one with the R, but I don't really care, in fact. Here... Yeah, here I do care. It's so that the type safety is guaranteed. I guess it didn't do anything if I try to do it. Look. Query any. I wonder what happened now. Oh, something bad. Change parameter query type of primary constructor of class no query handler exception to query R. And then if I do that, nothing happens. Because, why is it? Because if I do this and then say add type parameter, you can't because throwable may not have type parameters. Why is that? I think what we'll have to do is just pass along a string then. Just to get this thing working for now. Let's do as string. Required string found. Wait, why would it not have a string? Okay. Run it again and see that it works. Please screen test. Yay. Okay, now I'm very interested if this does in fact work. So if I were to QueryExecutor execute finding of the snarfs, there's a result. There's not null or something. Because we've got this one here, which is a data class. Let's see if this works. Oh no, no, no. What if I get rid of the list of? Okay, what if I try the... Which one was it again? The find challenge? With some random UUID? See if that works. Nope. No dice. So the spring wiring with the query executor really does not work, which is too bad. The thing I could do is go like this, I guess. Q. And then it can be anything, hopefully. Yeah, no. It really needs to be specific because I know that query handler is something like this. I kind of want to try and run my application right now and then see if it can boot up. Because if it can, then maybe oof. Oh yeah, we should get rid of this. Yeah, and any does not work. Okay, let's see what it says now. Yeah, it goes with object. Maybe this will fix it though. I guess not. Yeah, now we have to fix this again. Should have done that with the refactoring. Nope, same issue. I think it's time for us Googling this issue. Something like Spring Kotlin list injection. What is a Kotlin? That's it? So let's first look up how you call a thing in a regular Spring. So it's something like Spring component list injection. Collections. Yeah, this is basically what I want. Field injection, sure. Okay. Do I maybe need to explicitly say like auto wire or something? Yeah, it doesn't work like that, right? Maybe if I move it to this and then say auto wired with required false. Okay, but I don't know how that fixes stuff actually. Excuse? Same issue. See here, you don't really need to do anything. You can just register beans, and then whenever you want a list of these types of beans injected, then it should work. Well, how do you call this thing? Injecting bean references. Maybe try this. Injecting bean references Kotlin. Spring injected references in Kotlin. Maybe this is gonna work. Guess not. All right, here we go. Okay, hang on. What is this person suggesting is to feel strange to have beans floating around that are of such generic types as map string. Create a container class that holds a reference to the map so you have a proper type to reference. Sure. Yeah, the thing I could do is just make it explicit and not auto wire, and then just have my registered handlers be something that just gets initialized instead of injecting them. Could do that, right? Let's try this. Let's have this be a query handlers thing. we'll create this somewhere, and then we'll sure, yep. Okay, what can we do here? Actually, this should be like a registered handlers. Should be maybe a map then, I guess, of a query type. This thing and query handler. And then we could initialize it here. Yeah, this I know. So what I could do is do this again. Then don't auto wire it, I guess. False. But yeah, you see, if I do this, then what's the purpose of extracting it? I could have just done it in here. Okay, let's do that again. There we go. Then convert to secondary constructor. Then have it just be any, maybe. Maybe that'll be fine. And then we can put the auto wired thing on it again. With the required false. And then I could say, oh, hang on, that's not what I wanted to do, but then go like this, if that's even possible. Map of, set of. A pair. And I will say find challenge with find challenge query handler. Okay. I want the class of this. Can you do that? Like bind to something like that? Let's make it into a list then of query handlers. And then I can just say a list of, and then add this query handler of the find challenge query handler. Go like this. Yeah, and now here's the anything again. So if I wanted to go like this, then still broken. But this is a very specific query handler, no? I don't understand why this one doesn't satisfy. Yeah, I can't do that, of course, because it's too specific. How do I use a generic type? Ah. Dag Jan. Alles goed? Ah, kijk. Ja. Ik heb mijn camera vergeten. Maar ja, kijk. Dat gebeurt, hè. Zit je naar de dinges geweest? De wandeling of het protest? Of is dat is morgen? Of vandaag? Ja, vandaag dat was. Allee, cool. Ja. Ik sta hier al een tijdje. Dat is moeilijk. Zal ik eens... Ah ja, wacht. Ik moest je nog iets vertellen, dat is juist. Sorry about that. Let me quickly adjust. Add a marker. Okay. Let me actually just get back to y'all. I'll go get a drink first and then lower the desk. Be right back. All right. Back. Let's lower the desk. Okie dokie. Oh, I can actually sit now for a while. Would be better. Right, they're still struggling. Dang it. I really wonder why this is. It seems so weird. Maybe I should just read up on generics a little bit. In Kotlin. Okay, let's see. So we need to provide the type arguments. But if they may be inferred. Okay. Yeah, wildcard types. Oh god. If list was not invariant, yeah, okay, right. Yeah, the question extends, that's the thing I'm looking for now. Indicates that this method accepts a collection of E's and not just E itself. Yeah. In clever words, the wildcard with an extends bound or upper bound makes the type covariant. The key to understanding why this trick works is rather simple. If you can only take items from a collection, then using a collection of strings and reading objects from it is fine. Conversely, if you can only put items into a collection, it's okay to take a collection of objects and put strings into it. In Java, you have, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Producer extends consumer super text. What? Suppose we have a generic interface source t that does not have any methods, that take t as a parameter, but only methods that return a t, okay? Then it would be perfectly safe to store a reference to an instance of source string. There are no consumer methods to call, but Java does not know this and still prohibits it. Okay. Ah, that's the out thing. To fix this, we have to declare objects of type. Oh, okay, right. So hang on. All of this text before was just saying Java has issues. Since Java has issues, Kotlin needs to have issues as well. Okay. You have to declare objects of type source, which is sort of meaningless. Type parameter t of source to make sure that it is only returned from members of source t and never consumed. To do this, we provide the out modifier. So then here you can say if it's a string, then you can just say it's an any here. So what does that mean? When a type parameter t of a class C is declared out, it may occur only in out position in the members of C. Transformation, consumer in, producer out. So in our case, I think what we have, this is a consumption, but then should we have two things or what? One for consumption and one for out. No, this is only consumption, right? Let's call it QH, which is a query handler of R and query of R. So let's do R again. And then we say that, how does that work? You just say out somewhere. something like this. Ah, here we go. Now we have the question mark extends stuff. No beans of question extends query handler are with query. Okay. So can I then make this into any? All right, and then make this QH. Jesus Christ. Well, actually, it should be in because we're consuming this thing. I feel I'm just messing about. Messing about. Okay. Let's revert a little bit back, shall we? Same familiar problem is invariant. So yeah, copy might be doing bad things. I don't see where the T is here. let's just think about this. What do I want this type to be? Something that says it's a list of query handlers of which we have some result any and a query of any. And now if I do this, then it is going to break. And why is that? Because both any's are specifically objects. So what I need to do is something, I want to say like question mark, and same here. And then now they should, oh yeah, so maybe so it's really any. So does that also mean that my I have to do the same here, I guess. Then we get rid of this. Then we should move this, I guess. Yeah. I don't think this should be specified. It should be a query of nothing. Extends objects. And here we go with compilation errors. All right, back to square 5 or something. So I guess even though it still doesn't work. Maybe that'll fix it. How the hell does that work? Yeah, it still doesn't work. Is star basically saying I don't know the type? Yeah. Now it's any. No. I really can't do star, I mean. Oh my god, I've also been... that thing was always null, so it would always throw a no query. Oh my god. What have I been doing? How come? This I don't need. Oh yeah, it's already mentioned there. But same goes for this. Ah no, it's because this is not like that. Okay. And then that's why, because if I do out, then it's being used as in. So yeah. Let's just try this. Then we know that a list injection works at least. So if registered handlers, we should just go like find the first one. Oh, yeah, and then get rid of this again. Just add it to the main constructor. Okay, what do I want here? Is I want query. I want a query handler. Yeah, again. Hmm. Something that extends the R, right? Or really any... Okay, then. That won't work. This one will work though. Let's just comment this for now. Try and run this and then... It needs to be this result type. So for this to work, I need to return an R here. And then for that to work, unresolved reference handle. No, that's incorrect. This should be the query handler, so this needs to be Q. And then we'll also have an R. And we'll return a Q. And then Q should be a query handler that has R and damn it. So this should be QH, I guess. And then Q is a query. Well, actually, yeah, a query that returns an R. And then this can go. What? That should be the result type of this thing. I'm missing. There we go. Now this is complaining that I need a query handler, and instead you're returning that thing. So I want something that says like any type of that thing, but this is no longer a generics thing, so why would it? So if I do this again. Okay.
Well, I came upon a spot that was simply the most beautiful spot.
No, I need the R because I want to return it.
The power?
Hmm.
I will build a house there. I always wanted a house in the mountains. When I was a kid, I wanted a house in the mountains, and I said if I ever get the chance, I'll build a house there. And then it came, and I did, and I built it on the spot that to me was, as I said, the most beautiful spot I'd ever seen.
Let's try something else. Because I have a working QueryExecutor class in Java. Can you do that? Can you go like this? And then paste, and then go like to Kotlin. Whoa. There was like a shortcut for that, right? Yeah. Option Shift Command K. Option Shift Command K. Doesn't do a single thing. APK. Yeah, maybe it does need to... maybe it needs to compile before you can do that. Or maybe you just can't do that on... So let's try... Put it in some other package.
He was away from things.
File Java, yo. Oh, was it to map thing again? Okay, collectors. And then query handler does not have get query type yet. There we go, we don't need that thing anymore. Almost compiling. Clashes with execute both methods, same erasure. Oh, we've got two, okay. Then this one can just go. Alright, maybe now we can use it to Kotlin. Oh, here we go. Oh, you just say as are. Because you cast anyway. Right, and it's just because you basically just cast as R because you trust that the query that's been being executed, you can just trust that the handler follows that because the handler is always, well, in reality, in any case, coupled to the query itself. So, hang on now. That means that thing can just be a list of query handlers with X and X or star and star. Yeah. And then we say, well, I want again. something like this, and you say as R. Because handle, no, I don't get it. So do I cast this one as something that has a query handler with R and query of R? Then you don't need to do this anymore. Unchecked. Oh, also notice that Spring doesn't complain anymore.
Größte Gefahr von dem CUSPA ist sowieso, sich ernst zu nehmen. Und dann ist er kaputt.
Let's go to the query executor test again. And now it will, oh, now it does find all of them, so I need to do proper a proper thing instead of just doing first. So I'll need to filter and then say it yeah, I can't do this anymore. Then this thing needs to be you can't do that, right? Also, I'm not sure if this is like a good thing to do. I guess what I could do is make a map out of that or something. Out of these registered handlers. But then, or I could just go like which query type can you handle? So something like get query type like we had before in the, and then this, not a boolean but a queue. So if this query type, which is it's actually not like that, it should be like something like class blah blah of queue. Yeah, and now now it says out a query of star. So if I get the actual thing, can you equals queries class. Ah, yeah, you can, yeah, you can just do first with that thing. My difficult stuff indeed. Oh no. Ah, yeah, of course. I'll need to implement this and return find challenge class. And then same for in the test, we'll have this one. That's weird. So it should be or null. Now let's debug. If I do it.getQueryType, what do we get? Something that says class, and it's an find all snarfs thing. And this one find challenge. Okay. Oh, there's only one in there. Okay. That seems normal. Find all snarfs. We're getting there. Yeah. Hallelujah. Wow. Okay, so let's get back to this thing. This can go. Okay, so what did we do? Yeah, so if we do this, it doesn't work. Ah, see? What does help that to introduce import alias? Ah, yeah, okay. Okay, so what did we do here? We noticed that a list of query handler with specific types doesn't allow Spring to inject those beans that implement this interface. Then, because that made us do wildcards, made us use wildcards. Then, since we will be able to find this get query handler based on this logic, we could find something, but because the query handler that you would find is still typed with wildcards, we wouldn't be able to return the type. So to fix that, we would just say, well, if you get a query handler, just cast it as this type, which then has a result type, and the result type should correspond to the query's result type. This allows us to execute something. I mean, to have this type signature be valid. So then when you execute a query, it'll have type query of R, and it will return an R. And then since it does have that, you can just say on the casted query handler, just to handle. And if it wasn't found, throw. That's it. Christ. And then we had a test for that. then we have this is what makes our query executor. Okay. Let's try and commit something actually. Oh, hang on. There was something. No, we did get rid of it already. Let's maybe move this to a query package. Okay. So this remains in the CQRS backend, all of these changes. There's nothing that's in the regular FIT backend. I don't know what happened here. I guess it can go. Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened there. We deleted that file. Okay, here we got rid of the type because now we can deduce it from the result type of this query. Same. Here we added the type or the return type of the find challenge query. Then we added a handler that still just returns null. Added a no query handler found exception. Then extended query with a type. I forgot why we did that. I think that should be R really. The return type. And then we also added an as string thing to that. I think we did, yeah, this is the old query executor we deleted. Here is the new one that we implemented. Its corresponding test. Then a query handler interface. Okay. And then that's the move to the new package. Okay, cool. Let's commit all of this. So that's implemented query executor. Oh, let's go to query executor again, and then is there a way to mark this? Yeah. There we go. Suppressed, unchecked, cast warning. I wonder why I didn't push yet. All right, so we were slowly working towards a working integration test again. It still won't work. Why is that? Because our query handler now, so the find challenge query handler, it doesn't really do proper stuff yet. So what we could do now is write a test for this one. Create new test. Let's stuff, it'll be wrong anyway. What we can say is whenever stuff happens, handle executes, or basically delegates to repository to find challenge for a given ID. Okay. Now the question is, do we want to make integration tests for these, or what do you want to do? I mean, I could mock this, but then let's just mock it for now, I guess. So I want the query handler. It has a mocked repository mock, I guess. Mocked challenge repository. Repository. Then we mock this. That means we'll need to, hang on, what's this? How did we do that in the other tests? It's been so long apparently. Here we've got our real tests. Is there anywhere where we use them when? QueryExecutor mock. Okay, but here we use mock bean, right? Because this thing. No, because this thing. But now I really just want to do mock. Of course. This doesn't exist yet. I'll add the dependency to the challenge repository. And then we can say handler handle with a query. So with a find challenge query that has some UUID. And then what we can say is when the challenge repository mocks find by ID or null is being, oh no, this is this again. And this is an extension function, so I can't use it. So that means I should mock find by ID, right? When okay, and then also extract this to a challenge ID. So whenever challenge ID is being called, then return an optional of challenge. No, I forget. Test for test. This is fine. This returns a result. And then we can assert that. What? Actual is equal to this one. That's the test. What should happen? Finds no challenge for given ID. Challenge is returned. So here we do optional empty. Then this should be null. Correct. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Run it. Yeah, so now we need to run with extend with Mockito extension. What is the Mockito extension? Huh? I don't have it on my... Oh, I see. Guess I'll need to add it. So before I always used the Spring ones, I guess. So now's the first time I really need just have a regular Mockito thing. Test implementation. Of org Mockito JUnit Jupyter. Maybe that's fine. Let's see if it is. Yeah, okay. There we go. Now if we run it again. I don't know why I need to do this. I mean, it's... Because I also haven't added the platform thing. Also, we should consider annotating all our classes with a @run with JUnit platform class. Is it just because I tried to do this? Yeah. Well, let's move this into the setup or something. Okay. Alright, so now we are running into the actual problem, meaning that challenge repository isn't being used. Find by ID or null query challenge ID. That's it. Yay. So now that we've done this, everything here, there should be a scenario test, no? One that checks the challenge controller itself. Here we go. Completing, yeah, maybe just this one. What do we do here? We add a challenge. That's too bad. All of this, the rest of this thing becomes. So let's go back to the challenge controller. Which one is it? It's this one that I want. So to fetch a challenge detail, I don't think I actually have that anywhere. Like as a separate test, I mean, or even in my scenarios, maybe something that would do a get to this thing. So let's try and find that. I was gonna go Java, but it should be KT, I guess. Here we go. That's a put. Here's another put. Here's a get, though. Here it is. Yeah. Shit. Get challenge not being used. Let's try and use it somewhere then, I guess. So because this is the exact call that we need. Will we be able to find something? So we do add challenges to a competition. And when we do, it's multiple challenges. Yeah. But for this one, I guess we only just get an OK or something, that we never expose the ID of the challenge itself. So we should always like get it from the list of challenges of a competition. Ah, here we go. Fetched whinge challenge.
I just like looked at this guy and he was like asleep, and I literally thought in my mind like I could literally stay here forever.
Maybe we should
The best moment.
if we want to find a single challenge with a name or something, then okay. I guess the other thing we could do is first of all perform a get so that it exists. So let's do get challenge with requested challenge ID. So that's challenge ID to string. Yeah. And then the other thing I want to do is fix this so that this should be a challenge ID. Yo, what the hell? Your ID then? Where is it? Okay, to string. Now that I look at this, it seems so dumb to be doing it like that, because I can always just go like this thing, right? Okay. Anyway, now that we have our challenge, now we can maybe like check that it's not null or something. I mean, it would explode here otherwise. So complete challenge. We added that get challenge in there just to like mimic that we selected it somehow, you know what I mean? Yikes. Computer broke. Okay, here we go. And then specifically here, it should be something like mimic the fact that a challenge was selected in the UI. I guess. Because I don't really know if we ever actually do that. Like, for completing a challenge, I guess you click on the challenge and then what happens next? I think we might even, yeah, no, I think we fetch it. Yeah. We fetch it because we'll have like the list of challenges in a table, and then when you click on one, you pass along the ID to the view of the challenge detail, and that view will fetch the challenge with that ID that you just clicked on, and then you basically clicked this one. And so this is correct. Okay, nice. That means we can run this, but I think my Postgres needs to be running in a Docker container, and I do not think it is running now. Nope, it just works. Excellent. Added find, well, actually implemented find challenge query handler plus scenario. Yeah, no, it's correct. At first I thought maybe I changed a different scenario, like from the regular backend, but I did not. Cool. There we go. Push it. All right, so this is really cool actually, because now we've incrementally extracted stuff into the right packages for both challenge and competition. We managed to replace so it's UI challenge controller. We replaced this thing with a call to a query executor that then tries to execute find challenge query, and this find challenge query as a handler that then uses the repository, well, this one really, and then we can just gradually phase out this repository without breaking too much. Now, I wonder if it's a good idea to keep the challenge repository there, or if I should move to using a different kind of repository. I'm not really sure. I guess I might want to do that the moment that it starts hurting, but now I have the freedom to choose. Maybe we'll run against that problem once we extract these repositories into their actual module. So this will become a separate module, this will become a separate module, the domain will become a separate module, and then I guess we need something that has like all-encompassing stuff, like I don't know, like framework code. How do you call that? Common, dare I say the word, a common module. I'm not really sure. In any case, the next thing is probably going to be this one, because then I can try and update this challenge. So that means we need to it will need modifications to the UI as well, because just update might not be really great, but it will introduce commands and how to actually modify our things or aggregates. But that is for tomorrow, because it's 5:30 and I'm gonna stop right now and then continue tomorrow, normally, or at least that's the plan. All right, you lot. Maybe let's do some cleanup of some tabs, then also maybe update our issues somehow. Projects. I think I stopped tracking this. Oh yeah, in a while. I haven't touched that in a while. Let's do add new issue. Let's open a regular issue. Moving from monolith anemic to hexagonal and CQRS. Extract stuff into separate packages. Oh, I remember. I think I started doing that in the captain's log. Yeah. introduce mapping stuff between future module dependencies. Okay, so apparently I wanted to do all the queries first and then commands. Okay. This I do not remember why. Try to get rid of H2 dependency. Okay. So that won't work because I can't refer from my issues to my code base, I don't think. So I'll go here, diagrams, the dependency, something, something. This is it, I think. I haven't even tried yet. Doesn't seem to work. And then this probably also fails because that's not the actual picture. Copy image address, there we go. There we go. Let's add that as a bullet as well. Puff. All right, now we can keep track of this stuff. Move to using queries, and then I guess I can just go like challenge controller X. Well, no, yeah, that one is finished. Which other one do I need? I guess competition controller then, that's the only one. There's no competitor controller, so competition controller. So that's for tomorrow then, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I've came to the conclusion because, I mean, in which order I do it, because I can only extract modules out of packages once both of the queries and commands are done. So I can't just do challenges first and then extract that out of the packages. So I'll need to do it like this anyway. Cool, cool, cool. And then I guess same for this, for commands. But with the competition, I mean with the commands, a bunch of UI changes need to be involved with that as well, so. So projects, it's this one, I guess. Assign yourself. This is definitely an enhancement, I guess. No label then. Screw you. Let's go to the projects. And then bullet in progress. Okie dokie. Cool. So that concludes everything. Let's find someone to host, and then hopefully see y'all tomorrow. Let's see what James is up to actually. All right, here comes the host. See y'all next time. That stuff looks very confusing. Oh, and he's updated a bunch of stuff in the background. It looks so neat. All right. Cheers, everyone.